is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. It is Saturday, September 28th, 2019. This is episode 293, part number 2. And I woke up on Friday, and I'm like, shit. I got nothing to talk about on Saturday's show. Everything we went over in Friday's show was pretty much the majority of the news. You can't get any bigger than WWE Premiere Week, and we went over basically everything. I got some new news stories in this video about WWE Premiere Week that I did not go over yesterday, that were actually revealed today. But WWE Premiere Week is going to be the biggest week in WWE history. I figured that was it. Get everything out on part 1. You guys are good to go. You guys are set for next week's major WWE week. So, I woke up, I looked at the news, and there was nothing. There was nothing of substance, nothing to make a top story out of. So I went to the supermarket. I'm like, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? Got nothing in the house. What am I in the mood for? Ziti and meatballs. So we're doing meatballs and a nice red sauce with some ziti. Nice little salad. I got some beer chilled in the refrigerator. Tonight's beverage of choice is the Omegang 3 Philosophers brewed in a red wine barrel. Yeah, man. Mixture of cherry, some spices, some chocolate. Be good to go. So then I got home. Nothing still. Doing laundry. Doing the laundry. Laundry's done, folding the laundry. I sit down and I finally start gathering my notes and organizing the podcast the way I want it to sound and feel for Saturday. And then all of a sudden we got CM Punk in the headlines again. Every time CM Punk is in the headlines, it's like, oh my God, what is CM Punk doing now? Oh my God, is he going to AEW? Oh my God, breaking news! CM Punk. And I'm like, what is it now? I hear Dave Meltzer talking about CM Punk. If there's one choice for him to come back to pro wrestling, it's going to be with the WWE. And then I see CM Punk gets WWE tryout. So I click on it. And I see this story about CM Punk getting a tryout with the WWE in Los Angeles for their new talk show, WWE Backstage, which will be hosted by Renee Young. And I don't know what to think of this news. Then I see Edge is no longer a part of the ENC podcast. The Edge and Christian Pod of Awesomeness. He retired from podcasting. He's going to be on the road with his wife. It's too much to handle being at home doing the podcast and taking care of the family. Then I see John Morrison is back with the WWE. So we got a ton of stuff to go over today, man. You guys will not be without any of the news right here on Off the Script. So, good thing I went to the supermarket. Good thing I did some laundry, because now you guys got a nice, substantial podcast for your Saturday afternoons. So thank you guys so very much for joining me right here on the show, man. If you missed part 1, like I said, everything you pretty much need to know. Everything you guys need to know about WWE Premiere Week is in that video. I got some extra minor pieces of news today on the show. So if you guys missed part 1, make sure you guys go and check it out. Everything you need will be linked down below. If you missed Off the Script yesterday, if you missed NXT, if you missed Smackdown, if you missed Monday Night Raw, everything you need will be down in the description below. If you guys want to go back and watch them again, I would love that. Thank you guys for all the support on that. Make sure you're following me on social media. At JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to live tweet with me during next week's major WWE Premiere Week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's going to be a big deal, guys. So make sure you're following me on social media at JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want that early access on Patreon, if you guys want to show some extra appreciation for all the hard work that goes into the channel, Patreon is there. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And as always, I got to shout him out because he is awesome and he makes the channel look as good as it does currently. Got to shout him out, Salrex. Make sure you guys go and check out Salrex if you guys need anything as far as logos, banners, flyers, thumbnails, album covers, mixtape covers, t-shirt designs, which him and I got to go back and forth on. We need some new t-shirts going on into the fall and winter months for Off the Script. YouTube channel revamps. Anything you guys need, he's a DM away. SRXGFX on Twitter. His DMs are open. Hit him up. Nobody better in the community than my boy Sal Rex. And today's podcast is brought to you guys by the one and only Harrys.com/script. You guys know the deal about Harry's. You guys know the deal about Harry's, man. I don't need to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Humans have been shaving for over 5,000 years. Flint tools, shark teeth, the first copper razor. Humans knew that a great shave came down to the simple, sharp, and durable blades. That's why Harry's doesn't add any gimmicky features to their razors. They focus on the qualities that actually matter for a close, comfortable shave, and they never, ever upcharge you. Join the 10 million who have tried Harry's today and claim your special trial offer by going to harrys.com/scripts. I love the closeness of Harry's shave. Every time I used another company's razors before I started using Harry's full time, every time I used another razor, I would always nick myself, I would always cut myself, and cutting yourself in the middle of a shave is absolutely terrible, man. It downright sucks. I love the easy glide. I love the closeness that Harry's razors gives me over my sensitive skin. And I love that low price, man, because every time you go to a Walmart or a Target or anywhere that sells these types of products, you always see how expensive they are. Harry's is awesome when it comes to the low price. They're a return to the essential, quality, durable blades at a fair price. They're just $2 per blade. To keep prices that low, they cut out the middleman. They own a world-class blade factory in Germany that's been making quality blades for over 99 years. Now they can provide you great quality at factory direct prices. Harry's is also a brand that you can back 100% and be proud of. 1% of all sales are donated to organizations that provide access to mental health care for men. And there's no risk for trying them out. If you don't love your shave, let them know and they will issue you a full refund. JD, this sounds great. What am I going to get? You're going to get a razor handle with a firm grip. Choice of color is up to you guys. 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade. Rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated and it smells fantastic. And a travel blade cover as well to keep your razor dry and easy on the go. Guys, I want you to start shaving better today. There's no better way than Harry's. Harrys.com/script. So, on Friday's show, we went over literally everything pertaining to WWE Premier Week. We went over Monday Night Raw. We went over NXT. We went over All Elite Wrestling Dynamite on Wednesday night and Friday Night Smackdown. We covered all of our bases as far as what is going to be showcased on all 4 shows next week. We also talked about how WWE has now confirmed that the commentary teams spread across all 3 of their shows are now different, except for Wednesday. Wednesday is remaining the same. There's no reason to go in there and change what is not broken. Mauro Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix do a fantastic job every single week. No reason to touch what is pretty much the best commentary team in all of WWE right now. Monday and Friday are where we are. This is where we're seeing the biggest change. SmackDown Live obviously is moving to Friday nights. It's going to be the new A show. It has to be. With the money that Fox Sports is giving WWE, SmackDown is the A show from now on. Monday Night Raw, no matter how much they want to boast about the longest running weekly episodic TV show in history, bullshit. Doesn't matter anymore. That statistic is old, tired, and formulaic, like WWE's creative writing. SmackDown Live is the new A show. So it would make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because I honestly would like someone else in this role, but we'll see what happens. Michael Cole is the man on SmackDown on Friday nights with Corey Graves. So the Monday Night Raw commentary team is simply moving from Monday to Friday. Now, Renee Young is going to be a special contributor, whatever that means. I guess we'll find out on Friday. Monday is where I'm most interested in, and Monday is the one thing I can firmly say I am behind 100% because I appreciate the difference, I appreciate the risk, and I appreciate the change. Vic Joseph is now the lead commentary guy on Monday Night Raw. He is the lead voice of Monday Night Raw. Dio Madden, I've never heard him once in my entire life. Don't know what he sounds like, don't know what he brings to the table, but apparently he is being given an opportunity on Monday nights to be the analyst of Monday Night Raw. Jerry the King Lawler is going to be the special contributor or another analyst for the Monday Night Raw commentary team. I don't know why they didn't go with the two-man booths that were being rumored by WrestleVotes. I don't know why Jerry the King Lawler was chosen in this position, but I do have news on Jerry the King Lawler. I mentioned yesterday that this isn't, with all the change that is happening with Monday Night Raw, from the new logo to the new theme song to the new direction, the new cameras, the new commentary team, everything about the show is changing. Pyro, new set possibly on Monday. Jerry the King Lawler sticks out like a sore thumb. And when you look at that, and you look at Vic Joseph, who's young, Dio Madden, who's new and young, then you look at Jerry the King Lawler, and it's like, dude, what year is it? Why are you here? You look so out of place. Now, that's not WWE advancing with the times. It's not WWE at all changing for the better. It's always like WWE wants to change, but then they have to have this one little thing that's just an eyesore that really kind of shits all over the change that you're trying to implement on these shows. I don't have a problem with Jerry the King Lawler. I just don't think his time right now is best served behind the commentary desk. I don't. Without JR, I don't want King. Without JR, the King to me is not the King. He feeds best off of JR. I don't know how he's going to work with Vic Joseph. I don't know how he's going to work with Dio Madden. I don't want to even know how they work together. It shouldn't be a thing. And you mean to tell me on Monday Night Raw, where Jerry the King Lawler was a part of one of the greatest commentary teams in the history of this sport, you mean to tell me you're going to put Jerry the King Lawler in 2019? Boring, formulaic, scripted, dull. Jerry the King Lawler isn't talking about puppies, or Jerry the King Lawler isn't making snide remarks and, just being the king like we remember. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I doubt he would even be able to get away with half of that shit in 2019. So why even bother? Why even put him in that position? Get him out of there. Now, apparently, he's going to be in this role for a temporary time. It's only going to be for a little bit. Dio Madden was actually the choice of Paul Heyman. Vic Joseph, Dio Madden, and Jerry the King Lawler. That's your commentary team. It was reported that Jerry the King Lawler now is in a temporary role until they find a permanent replacement for him on Monday night. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that bringing in Dio Madden onto Raw was a Paul Heyman decision, and it is said that Madden was an absolute outside-the-box decision from Paul Heyman. I love it. I love it. You don't know what you got until you put it in a position to either sink or swim. I love the fact that they're going with something different. I really do. Now, as far as Vic Joseph goes, I don't know what Michael Cole's future is. I really don't. Michael Cole clearly is going to be used in this SmackDown lead commentary role because he is the king of WWE commentary. He is the man that you are most associated with now, so it makes sense for him to be there. I find it really weird that Tom Phillips is just without a job now after making him the voice of SmackDown Live. Is it possible? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is it possible for WWE to simply use Michael Cole in this beginning phase on Fox to get everybody familiar, and then he gives way to a possible Tom Phillips, or gives way to a possible Vic Joseph? Maybe they use Vic Joseph on Monday Night Raw, which is the B show. It's going to be the B show of WWE. Maybe they get Vic Joseph in that commentary role to test him out to see how he does, and once he becomes a little bit more comfortable, maybe they'll move him over to SmackDown Live, and Michael Cole could phase himself out of WWE commentary. Could be a possibility. Or maybe Michael Cole is being used right now in the beginning stages of SmackDown on Fox and then phases himself out, and Tom Phillips takes over the SmackDown commentary table on Friday night, because I just think it's a weird decision to have him not really do anything when you've gotten the audience and everybody accustomed to hearing him on Tuesday night, and now he has nothing to do on any night. I could see him in the studio with Renee Young, but I just find it really weird that Tom Phillips he's not bad in that role. He's not. I just find it really weird that now he has nothing to do, and WWE, instead of giving him Monday Night Raw, they gave it to Vic Joseph. I just find it really bizarre. I love the fact that Dio Madden is a Paul Heyman choice. I love thinking outside the box. I love taking a risk. If I did not take a risk, I would not be sitting here right now full time doing this podcast, doing this YouTube channel. So I love it. I love it just based on that aspect. Gonna give him a shot. Jerry the King Lawler is a temporary fix for the Monday Night Raw commentary team. Who is he a temporary fix for? What does WWE have in mind? Well, Mickie James. Mickie James. Yes, that Mickie James may end up being the new WWE analyst on the Monday Night Raw commentary team. Pro Wrestling Sheet and that clown Ryan Satin report that it is speculated that Mickie James could be moved into a commentary role eventually. This might be why the company sat her on the main events commentary team this week. Only time will tell if James is a replacement for Jerry the King Lawler, since the intention is for the King's return to commentary to only be short term. James is currently out of action with a knee injury which required surgery. She might have more time to recuperate, but she can still commentate while she's out, getting herself right and ring ready once again. I don't know where WWE's mindset is. If they want Mickie James back in the ring, is WWE going to give Mickie James a priority on these shows? She should. She still has a lot left in the tank, and she is very attractive. She is just as attractive as any of these other women on WWE television. So mixed with that, she still has the look. She still looks great. She could still go in the ring. I don't know. I don't know if WWE is willing to put her back in the thick of things with the women's division. I don't know how over she will be when she comes back. People did not really give her the reaction that I was expecting from Mickie James. So I don't know what WWE is thinking here with Mickie James as far as a wrestling capacity, but I could certainly see them using her in this role because Renee Young was there. Maybe they're teaching Mickie James along the way and getting her ready for that female position on the commentary team, because if you look at all three brands, Renee Young is still affiliated with the Smackdown Live. Oh, it's not Smackdown Live anymore. I got to get used to saying Friday Night Smackdown. Renee Young is still affiliated with Smackdown on Friday nights. Beth Phoenix is doing a great job on NXT. WWE is going to be missing that female presence on Monday Night Raw. And it would kind of even things out with Beth on Wednesdays, Renee on Fridays. Who do you got on Monday having that female, pro wrestling analyst presence? You got nobody. And WWE's not going to want to have women on those shows and then not have a woman on Monday Night Raw. God forbid you got some fucking salty idiot on social media. Where's the woman presence on Monday Night Raw? I see it coming right now. Of all the things you want to complain about this fucking show, that's the one thing you're going to complain about? I don't give a fuck who's there. I don't give a shit if a female mannequin is sitting there. There's bigger problems on Monday night than a fucking female presence on this show. You fucking idiot. We don't need a female presence. We don't. And I'm being a straight shooter with you. We don't need a female presence, because the only reason why there are female commentators is because of fucking idiots on social media. Not saying they do a bad job. Beth Phoenix is fucking great at what she does to fill that role. I've listened to Beth Phoenix since the Mae Young Classic. Not once have I ever complained about Beth Phoenix. Renee Young sucked. Anybody else that they put in that position sucked. Paige sucked when she was on commentary. I don't want to have someone in there not capable of doing the job. Is Mickie James good? I don't know. But we don't need a female presence. The only reason why WWE has a female presence is because they have to fit an agenda. That's the only reason why. So, as long as they got people capable of fucking giving me a good show and sound like a good show, then I'm fine. But don't do it just for the sake of doing it because the other shows have it. Now, if this is what Mickie James' future is going to be, great. I personally think that she still has a lot left in the tank to give the women's division. But maybe WWE doesn't see that. But I can certainly see them using her in this position to kind of even out the female presence along Wednesday night, Friday night, and when Monday Night Raw doesn't have a female presence, they might be setting her up for that. Because quite honestly, they don't have anybody else. They don't have anybody else. This will keep Mickie James long-term with the WWE. She might have a new passion now by doing commentary. She might not want to wrestle at all anymore. I don't know what that woman is thinking. Maybe this was the one final injury that this woman said, you know what, I had enough. I don't want to go through this anymore. I don't want to go through the rehabilitation. I don't want to go through the surgeries. I don't want to go through this shit anymore. I want to live my life in the remaining years of my career happy, healthy, and injury-free. Maybe this is something that she asked for. We don't know. We don't know. But I think this with the King is a suitable, I don't want to say replacement because we don't know if she's going to replace him, but as long as we all know that the King's role on Monday Night Raw for now is a temporary one, because I don't want the King in that position. When WWE wants to put youth out there, this is not youth. When WWE wants to be cool and appeal to a different audience, a cooler audience, they want to come off feeling cool. That's not cool. The King was cool back in the Attitude Era. He's not cool now. He just looks like an old guy, well past his time, and his role should be better served on a pre-show panel, giving his minor opinions on something that really doesn't even matter. That's pretty much it. So, what we learned here today is Mickie James could be groomed for the Monday Night Raw commentary position to replace Jerry the King Lawler, and Dio Madden was a pick of Paul Heyman, which I love. I am looking forward to Monday Night Raw on Monday and I can honestly say that with a straight face because I am interested in hearing how Vic Joseph handles himself for 3 hours, and I want to see what Dio Madden brings to the table. And I cannot begin to tell you how important commentary is to these shows because Monday Night Raw, one of the biggest things that we complained about every single week was the commentary. If they could change that for the better, they're already one step in the positive. Looking very much forward to it on Monday night. Look at this guy right over here, man. Look at him. Look at him. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, Johnny Blaze, Johnny Blackcraft, John Morrison, John Hennigan. Who knows what his new moniker is going to be, man? Better than Johnny Wrestling? Johnny Smackdown? Johnny Monday Night? I don't know, man, but all I know is that John Hennigan is now on his way back to the WWE. I think everybody assumed with John Morrison, being that he was away from Impact Wrestling, he didn't re-sign with Impact Wrestling, that he was on his way to AEW, that he was on his way to All Elite Wrestling. I want to be perfectly honest with you. I've wanted John Morrison back in the WWE for a very long time. I loved what he did in Lucha Underground. I thought he was an absolute stud in Lucha Underground. He did probably the best work of his career in Lucha Underground. And with the news of him coming back to WWE, I was like, upon first reaction, okay, this is suddenly out of nowhere. John Morrison back with the WWE. They got a great fucking hand. They got a legit guy if they want to use him in a legit way. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm excited, but on the other hand, I'm holding my excitement very close to the chest. It is very difficult for me to get excited about John Hennigan being back with the WWE because this is going to get us excited, and then ultimately, in the end, we're going to feel disappointed. I don't like Bobby Lashley. I don't. Everybody shits on me for not liking Bobby Lashley. He's a legit athlete. He's this, he's that. He did great work in TNA. Great. Go back there. Go back there. Go back there. I don't give a shit. You wouldn't be missing anything with Bobby Lashley away from Monday Night Raw. You wouldn't. He brings absolutely nothing to the table. Now, I'm not going to shit on Bobby Lashley any more than I just did, but look at what he did. He was in WWE, right? He left WWE and made himself a bigger guy elsewhere. Then he comes back to the WWE. What did they do? They didn't use him. They didn't do anything with him. He was one of the worst aspects of Monday Night Raw. Complete irrelevance on that show. Nothing exciting. Every time Bobby Lashley came on the TV, they did nothing with him creatively, to a point where I would pick up my remote control and change the channel when he was on. Drew McIntyre started out hot. Everything was going well. Big promises for Drew McIntyre. Big ceiling for Drew McIntyre. What happened? Has not won a single championship outside of the tag team titles with Dolph. Did he win the tag team titles with Dolph Ziggler? I think so. I think he did with Dolph Ziggler. Outside of that, absolutely nothing. Outside of that, Braun Strowman. Outside of that, being teamed with Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. Outside that, buried to Roman Reigns. Outside that, a lot of nothing. When Drew McIntyre was brought up from NXT, the man should have been groomed for the number one position on that show as the biggest heel on Monday night. What has WWE done? Absolutely nothing with Drew McIntyre, who has the makings of what could be the perfect pro wrestler. You look at that man and you think fucking star. They've done nothing with him. EC3. Do I even need to explain to you what they did to EC3? Same thing with Bobby Lashley. Both McIntyre and EC3 went out there and made a name for themselves and a bigger superstar than they were in WWE. Outside of their walls, they want to come back home, and WWE takes it out on them. Now, I don't know what is to come with these guys under new leadership. I don't. All we know is that Vince McMahon still waves that creative wand. He wants someone to be buried. He wants someone in a position on this show without, ascending the heights until he says so. He's going to say so. He's going to say so. Bobby Lashley, EC3, Drew McIntyre have amounted to absolutely nothing in WWE after going somewhere else and making a name for themselves and making themselves a bigger star. It happened with Christian. It happened with Christian Cage. Who didn't like Christian Cage in TNA? He was awesome. He was awesome. He was great in WWE, but he wasn't going to get to that point where he wanted to be a world champion under WWE. He had to go out there and prove it, not only to them, but to himself, that he could do it. He made himself into a world champion. A guy at least that could run SmackDown Live under a brand split. That he could. Came back, what did they do? Yeah, they gave him a world championship, but outside that, there were reports everywhere that Vince McMahon never seen Christian Cage as anything more than a mid-card guy. He merely threw him a bone. I don't know why I should be excited about all this. The same thing is going to happen to John Hennigan, John Morrison, whatever the fuck they're going to call him. Same thing is going to happen to John Morrison when he comes back to WWE. Now, we don't know where he's going to land. We don't know where he's going to be. He could be on Monday Night Raw. He could be on Monday Night Raw. He may be a Paul Heyman guy at the end of the day. We don't know. And if he is, great. Put him in the ring with the fucking Seth Rollins. Put him in the ring. Maybe Seth Rollins will learn a thing or two. Put him in the ring with AJ Styles. Put him in the ring with a Finn Balor. Put him in the ring with guys like that. You're going to get great shit out. Put him in the ring with a Cedric Alexander. Put him in the ring with a Chad Gable. Smackdown Live seems to be the perfect home for Johnny Smackdown or Johnny Morrison, whatever the fuck they're going to call him. I don't know. I think that's the most interesting aspect of what is to come with him being back in the WWE. What is his name going to be? Are they simply going to do John Morrison? Is he going to feel like a big deal? Or are they going to have the Rey Mysterio effect? I hope not. What happened to Rey Mysterio? All this big fanfare that Rey Mysterio was back. What did they do with Rey Mysterio? Nothing. You know when they started using Rey Mysterio? When he gave, and this is only a rumor, this is only an assumption on my behalf, when Rey Mysterio said, you know what, Vince, I got that out clause in my contract. I want out after WrestleMania. I'm going to AEW. That's when they started using him. Now we see Rey Mysterio getting a Universal title match. Now we see Rey Mysterio's son on television. But how long did it take for WWE to realize that they had Rey Mysterio on their roster, not being used properly? Then Rey Mysterio, I can only assume, gave them the word, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Then WWE started booking him in a prominent position and giving him storylines. Because they don't want him to go anywhere. Yeah, Rey, we'll show you that we can use you. We'll give you prominence on this show. We'll give you top priority. Please stay. Now look at him. Is John Morrison going to have that Rey Mysterio effect? Rey was the hottest thing on the indies coming on into the WWE. Makes his debut on Smackdown Live within 2 weeks, folks. I shit you not, within 2 weeks. The guy was as dull as dishwater. he had that WWE effect. Everything that you felt about Rey Mysterio, or anybody it could have been fucking anybody. Could have been anybody. You come on into the WWE after fucking lighting the indies on fire, and they humanize you to a point where you're just one of them. It's like they put you in this zombified state. All that luster and fanfare and excitement that is no more, because you are now WWEized. Sucks. And I feel the same thing is going to happen with John Morrison. How great is John Morrison? John Morrison is going to fucking come on in here, light the fucking shows on fire, and then he's going to feel ordinary and plain and boring. And back to the John Morrison that we knew in WWE, who was nothing more than a mid-carder at best. Meanwhile, the guy could easily be in the main event and fucking steal a show on any given night. What are they going to do? They're going to treat this guy differently now that they got him? Or did they simply go out there and offer him big money so that he doesn't go to AEW? Which I'm assuming is the fucking case. Because this literally came out of nowhere. Now he's back. What's his name going to be? Where's he going to go? I'll tell you where he should go. He should go down to NXT. Because they'll treat him like a fucking superstar down there. Give me Johnny Wrestling versus Johnny Morrison. There you go. There you go. Johnny Gargano's got nothing to do down there. He's not going to be going for the world title anytime soon. Fill that void with this guy. I don't want to see him on Monday nights. I don't want to see him on Friday nights. I really don't. These rosters are already stacked with people that you're not using. Now you're bringing in somebody else that you didn't give a shit about when he was there the first time. Oh, but JD, he was an ECW champion. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, he was an ECW champion. Let me bow down to the fucking creative writing team of WWE because Johnny Morrison was an ECW fucking champion. Let me look at his other accolades. What else did he do in WWE that I should fucking... Oh my God! Johnny Morrison's back in WWE. Let's see. What did he do? ECW champion, Intercontinental champion, right? Has the Intercontinental champion ever meant anything to WWE? This is not the 1990s anymore. The Intercontinental Championship meant nothing to this company, and it still does. It's always been looked at as an afterthought, no matter who held it, Jericho or fucking anybody else. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The last time it was probably relevant was when Jericho fucking had it. When he was feuding with Mysterio over his fucking mask. That's when the Intercontinental Championship was fucking most prominent. Last time we seen that was The Miz back in 2016. What happened then? That's a long time in between. I don't remember anything with the Intercontinental Championship being that important. Now, I might be forgetting things. I'm terrible with fucking dates. Somebody fill me in. But I know that Jericho Mysterio feud for the Intercontinental Championship over his fucking mask was brilliant. Brilliant fucking television. The Miz, with what he did with Dolph Ziggler, was brilliant fucking television. Yes, he was an Intercontinental Champion. Does Johnny Morrison have a memorable reign as Intercontinental Champion in the 3 times that he's held the championship? No. No. Tag Team Championship with The Miz. Ooh. The Miz. Oh my God. The Miz and John Morrison weren't even the best tag team The Miz was a part of. So why are you going to come to me with, oh, he was a one-time World Tag Team Champion? In a time when they only had one other fucking tag team? Seriously. Fucking ridiculous. Tag Team Championship with Joey Mercury 4 times. The only thing I remember during their reign was the fucking feud with the Hardys. That was it. Nothing memorable to me. The only thing I remember was at that ECW December to Dismember show. Remember that? I don't want to. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. I want to give myself some unknown fucking disease. That show was absolutely an abomination. But the opening match to that show was Eminem versus the Hardys. And I remember Joey Mercury getting a fucking ladder right in the eye. This guy's eyeball was fucking 12 times its size. That's the only thing I remember from them being a tag team. Who did they beat? Did they beat any notable teams? The only thing I remember about their act was Melina's entrance. Yet I should care about Eminem, right? ECW World Champion. Does anybody remember it? Who gives a shit? ECW was a dead fucking brand as soon as they restarted it up. That was it. That was it. What are they going to do differently this time? They're going to put him back on Smackdown Live where he's not going to be a top guy over there? They're going to put him on Monday Night Raw where he could have the potential to be in Paul Heyman's grasp and be a top guy? Maybe fight over the United States Championship, give some meaning to that mid-card over there. He could easily be a fucking Universal Champion on Monday Night Raw if they allow him to. They won't. Because everybody that was in this company, this is nothing. This is middle-of-the-road fucking garbage here for Johnny Mundo on his WWE resume. He went out and he became a bigger guy than he was in the WWE. And now he's back home. Oh, you want to come back home and think you could light the world on fire because you went out there and ditched us the first time and went out there and made yourself a bigger name on some other fucking company's dime? Doesn't work that way, bro. Join EC3 and get in line with the green beans at Titus Catering. That's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. This guy could light the world on fire in this company with Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy and AJ Styles and fucking everybody, man. Andrade. Maybe they get him back in a tag team with The Miz. How about that? 2019 version of John Morrison and The Miz. Watch them do that. Yeah, he goes to Smackdown and he immediately feuds with The Miz, which is not going to benefit anybody because there has to be one winner and there has to be one loser. Seriously. I would rather them be in a tag team. You need tag team wrestling, right? It's a great way to start. I would actually enjoy that. I would actually be interested in seeing what they could do as a tag team together. But I can't be interested, or I am interested, I can't be excited about what is to come with Johnny Morrison when everybody else before him left, came back, and has been buried. They've been treated like a fucking afterthought. Until WWE puts some gold around this guy's waist and gives him a consistent run as a top-level guy on either Raw or SmackDown or NXT, which I think is the right brand for him to go to, I don't want to hear it. This is nothing more than, yes, we'll pluck this guy away from the indies so he doesn't go to AEW. That's all I see it as right now until WWE changes my mind. I want to talk about Edge. Yes, Adam Copeland, Edge. Which, by the way, I tweeted him a clip that I filmed on Tuesday night when I was at the Alter Bridge concert. They played his theme song, Metalingus. They played it. I took a video of it. I tweeted him. Bro, even in 2019, we're still thinking about you. We miss you. He liked the tweet. And this iPhone 11 Pro Max, man, the video on this is fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. Anyway. I love Edge. The rated R superstar. Nobody like him. One of my favorites of all time. All time. I remember when Edge won the World Championship, man, from John Cena. Cashed in that Elimination Chamber night. And Vince McMahon ushered him to the ring. That was a fucking night. That still gives me chills, man. That entire moment. It was literally the first time ever we've seen something like that happen. And Edge pins John Cena after he wins that Elimination Chamber match. Which I believe had Chris Masters and Carlito in it. Right? And what was that, a New Year's Revolution show? He wins the world title. Ratings go through the roof with Edge as world champion. It wasn't just a fluke. Everybody loved Edge, man. That character for that period of time was fucking great. Man, who is world champion and has a live sex celebration on Monday Night Raw? Really, who does that? Who does that? What guy watching that show is not fucking absolutely triggered and salty over the fact that Edge is fucking Lita from behind? Really? Every guy wanted to be Edge in that fucking moment right there. Really. That was brilliant fucking television. He is legitimately one of the greatest of all time. I cried when he fucking retired. My best friend Pete was in the audience in Connecticut when he retired and gave his speech. It was just a tearjerker, man. It really was. When he went away, we understood why. Nobody wants to put the livelihood and the life of somebody on the line because of a fucking neck injury. WWE said no more. You're done. You're done. Edge announced his retirement, and he was actually on his most recent ENC Pod of Awesomeness with Christian, who I just got done talking about just a little bit ago. He explained that he does not have the time in his schedule to continue recording one episode per week, especially now that he has more family commitments due to his wife, Beth Phoenix, taking on extra work and being at Full Sail every single week as a commentator, sitting next to Morrow and Nigel McGuinness. She has to be there every week. This is not like Beth can go 1 week out of the month, film 4 shows, and be home with the family. Can't do that anymore. Beth has to constantly, I don't know if she's living in Florida, I don't know where they live, but it might be a situation where he might have to relocate now. Could be an option. I don't know where they're living, but she has to be at Full Sail every week, get back on a plane, go back home. Who knows what other WWE duties she will have moving forward. I don't know. So she did take on extra work, and he cited that as the reason that he retired from podcasting with Christian. He says this, and I quote, "As much as it sounds like, well, how can you not squeeze that podcast in once a week?" He says there's more to it than that. What you hear of us flapping our gums is not all that it is. There's logistics behind it, separate schedules, different places, guests, things like that. It just ended up being one of those deals where it's kind of hard to navigate for me right now. Christian added that he is not sure what the plans are for the podcast in the future, but Edge indicated that the show will continue in his absence. He says this on that aspect. "This will be my last episode of the E&C Pod of Awesomeness, but stay tuned because the C-Man, we never know what he's going to be doing, folks. Edge's WWE status outside of the wrestling and podcast business. Edge has acting roles in TV shows, including Haven, Vikings, since announcing his in-ring retirement in 2011. So, he's a former WWE champion. He made a surprise appearance, which is probably because he's Canadian, and Toronto was the home of SummerSlam this year in August. He interrupted Elias during the kickoff show, and WWE actually allowed him to go out there and hit a spear on Elias. Now, I don't understand why WWE has so vehemently said no to wrestling, yet allow him to go out there and perform a move that even in its simple execution, something could go wrong. I don't understand why WWE allowed him that opportunity to do that if they are completely deading the entire... Well, Edge says I could come, he could come back. He said it himself. I feel like after that SummerSlam spot with Elias, I feel like I could come back and wrestle. WWE just won't allow it. He said this, to be perfectly honest, I think I could do a match tomorrow. And I might be blown up, but I'd be okay. It's just from what I know with WWE's medical staff, they will not allow it. He's 45 years old. He looks fantastic. He could probably still go if they wanted him to do a dream match here or there. But for the simple fact that they let him go out there and execute that move, even though, like I said, simple in execution, could still be, a risk of something happening to him. I don't want to sit here and say Edge is full of shit because we don't know what his home duties are. I don't know how many kids. I think, do they have 2 kids? Might be 1. But I'm kind of thinking 2. I'm not sure. I think they have 2 kids. But with him and Beth being at Full Sail, him not doing the podcast, it might very well be the fact that he just can't do it anymore because he's got so much going on with work. He is in TV. He's doing the Vikings thing. He might be doing a movie. What if he wants to venture off into movies, right? So I don't know if he's going to be at home while she's working or he's going to be traveling with her and the kids. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I think everybody right now, instead of speculating, I think we should respect his decision because it would be unfair of us to immediately jump to conclusions. Oh, Edge is coming back. No, Edge is not coming back. Edge is not coming back. Now, on that aspect, do I think WWE, do I think something fishy is going on here? No, I don't think anything is fishy with this situation. If the guy says it's family, it's family. But in the end of it all, with Beth now having a full-time position in WWE, I would not put it past WWE to bring Edge back in some capacity, whether it be at a WrestleMania, whether it be for a Saudi show. You got to look at it as far as the Saudi shows go. How many more people can WWE bring in to do these shows that are going to fall in line with what the Prince wants? There's not many. You got The Undertaker. I think we're all sick of seeing The Undertaker. You got Goldberg. They use Goldberg. There's Stone Cold. How much money is it going to be for WWE to bring Stone Cold back to do a Saudi show? And why would you bring him back to do a Saudi show when, realistically, if Austin wants to do one more match, why wouldn't that happen at a WrestleMania? I don't get it. You got The Undertaker, you use Goldberg. Sting is another one. I could absolutely see WWE frantically trying to get Sting cleared so that they have another marquee match for their Saudi show coming up in November, or whenever the next one is. November, or the one after that, probably in April or May, whatever. I could see them frantically trying to do that with Sting so that they get that dream match that didn't happen at WrestleMania, happening at this WrestleMania equivalent bullshit. I could absolutely see them frantically trying to get Steve Borden back into wrestling shape and get him cleared. I could see the same thing happening with Adam Copeland. I honestly could. WWE is not going to put him in a spot to do a fucking spear on Elias if they did not already have an inkling of an idea that they wanted this guy to wrestle again. If the guy says he could wrestle, clearly they let him go out there and do a spear. I don't think it's WWE medical staff won't allow me. I think it's WWE medical staff is being very careful, and they're progressing to see how I do and what I can do and what I can't do. And upon further determination, then they will allow me one more match or WrestleMania moment. That's what I think it is. I don't think Edge is coming out of retirement back to the WWE to wrestle, all because he quit his podcast. I think it's going to be a natural, slow progression. He quit the podcast. He's got to take care of the kids. He's got to support his wife. His wife's doing full-time with WWE right now. With her being full-time in WWE, it's conveniently 20 minutes away from the Performance Center down in Orlando. Edge could be down in Orlando with the kids, train, get back into ring shape. Everything just seems very coincidental in those things. Not saying that Edge is coming out of retirement to wrestle because he quit the podcast. I'm saying I think WWE is just a little bit closer to getting Edge back cleared and thumbs up to get back in the ring. That's what I think. I'm not saying they're going to be pushing for it. I think it's going to be a slow progression, but it's eventually going to happen. Whether it happens one more time and that's it, being that he's 45 years old, or WWE is going to bring him back for a small program with somebody. I could absolutely see it happening. That's my thought on that. You got to believe him when he says it. It's family. I'm not jumping to conclusions. If Edge is coming back, he'd be one of the guys that I would be excited about. Really. Because I honestly think he's got all the potential in the world to still have it and give us a great performance. It sucked when he went away because he went away way too soon. And it pained me that we, as a wrestling fan, it pained me that we couldn't see Edge in the ring anymore and hear that fucking beautiful Alter Bridge riff during his theme song. It really did. That was one of the retirements that got me. You know, when Daniel Bryan retired, that got me bad. When Edge retired, that got me bad. If he comes back, I'm going to be in full support of him coming back. I don't think this means Edge retiring from the podcast world means that he's coming back to the pro wrestling world. Let things naturally take place. If WWE is getting ready to clear him, or if WWE is in the process of slowly working towards that happening, I would not be surprised. I'm mentioning it again. I would not be surprised, and I'm not going to be surprised if Sting is also cleared for a match in Saudi against The Undertaker. Because you know they want that to happen. Sting still talks about it. If they did fucking Goldberg, I would not put it past them to do Sting either. CM Punk. CM Punk. Everybody's talking about CM Punk. This is the reason why I did this show the way I did it today. CM Punk. The big story on Friday afternoon broke. CM Punk had a tryout with WWE. Got a notification. I'm like, what is this shit? What is it? I immediately thought, here we go. Bullshit rumors again. CM Punk and his name was brought up all weekend, Labor Day weekend. With me being in Chicago, that's all I heard. CM Punk this, CM Punk that. Is he going to be at All Out? Everybody was like waiting with bated breath when Jericho won the AEW championship. They were waiting for Cult of Personality to hit the PA system, and that fucking building was going to crumble down into dust with that fucking theme song and the sight of that man in that arena. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody got their hopes up. More so than they should have. Everybody got their hopes up. Nothing happened. He was supposed to show up at Double or Nothing, according to fans. We got John Moxley instead. He was supposed to be in Vegas. He was supposed to be in Vegas. He was supposed to be in Chicago. That's 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Chicago would have been the quintessential perfect setting for CM Punk. Hit a back and forth with Cody Rhodes. Something really didn't gel there with me. The interaction with Cody Rhodes and all the contract talk, and Tony Khan wants to boast about how he's good friends with me. I don't have a personal relationship with Tony Khan at all. Bullshit, bullshit. I call you bullshit. Bullshit. So now we go on into AEW on TNT. If they had Punk, clearly nobody would know. Nobody would know. He would just show up in Washington, D.C., and AEW would be taking out the fucking cannons and the big guns, and they'd be sticking it to WWE. Big time. I don't know what's going on with CM Punk. I don't. If CM Punk, because people are still talking about CM Punk showing up with AEW. CM Punk doesn't show up on that debut episode of AEW on TNT, I'm done hearing the CM Punk talk. Because if it doesn't happen then, there's only one other spot for it to happen, and that is on the pre-Thanksgiving episode of AEW. That Wednesday. And that's in Chicago. If it doesn't happen on Wednesday, then I think that CM Punk talk to AEW, or wrestling with AEW, dies. Dies. The casket is already lowered. If it doesn't show up, we can start shoveling the dirt on the fucking casket. It's over. Then today, CM Punk hit the headlines, the news waves, right? CM Punk is now rumored to have tried out with the WWE this week, and it's not in a wrestling capacity. Instead, it is for WWE Backstage on FS1, being a co-host to Renee Young. Now, we got the news yesterday that Backstage was formally announced, confirmed by WWE. It's going to be Renee Young and Booker T. They both had statements about the show themselves, personal quotes about the show themselves. Now, in the most recent Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer, for some reason, talked about CM Punk. And he had a general feeling about CM Punk. Don't know why he was brought up. Don't know why Punk was being talked about. But Dave Meltzer noted in the Observer that it would be, if Punk does come back with pro wrestling in mind, it would be with the WWE, and that's where Punk would be able to make the most money. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't want to hear about anything money related. WWE can throw all the money they want at CM Punk. That does not mean that Tony Khan cannot match or make that deal greater than what WWE offered him. It doesn't matter. Both sides have an unlimited resource of money. Money is not the issue with CM Punk. Yes, Punk could come back to the WWE and make fucking hand over fist what he was making when he was there originally. He could go to AEW and make the same amount of money. If you're arguing with me that Punk is going to choose WWE over AEW because of fucking money, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Money is of no factor in CM Punk going anywhere. It's basically, Meltzer says, it's basically the feeling that even though WWE went after him hard with a lawsuit that cost him a lot of money, 7 figures, that WWE is the place he feels he can make the most money. End quote. He goes on to finally say, if CM Punk is to come back to pro wrestling, it will be with WWE. Then the news broke on Friday that PWInsider cited numerous sources confirming to them that Punk was at Fox Studios in Los Angeles earlier this week for a meeting on a potential on-air role with WWE Backstage, the new studio show that will start November 5th on FS1, Fox Sports 1. The story noted that Renee Young was there, and Punk did some test on camera material, but it has not been confirmed yet that Punk has signed on to do the actual show. Dave Meltzer first reported several weeks ago that Punk's agent reached out to Fox to see where his interest was, but it appeared that there was no interest from him in that role. At least, not from him or not from WWE. It was just there. It was just something that they wanted to throw out there, let's throw the dart against the wall and see if CM Punk bites. That was it. WWE has brought in several names for tryouts in recent weeks. Edge was one of them. Christian was another. Paige was another, which we talked about yesterday. They were among the names that WWE considered for the show. PWInsider also noted that Rey Mysterio and Sean Waltman, X-Pac, were also brought in by Fox producers for a potential role. Mysterio is one that really scratches my head because Rey Mysterio is still an on-air character right now who's going to get a major storyline that we're going to talk about in a little bit on WWE TV. Young and Booker T were announced as the hosts for the show earlier in the week, yesterday, Thursday. And this is Fox trying out different ideas right now as far as what the format for the show is going to be. One idea that has been floated is to have 3 to 5 personalities in a round table format similar to other sports studio shows. If Punk ends up signed to do the show, he would be working for Fox and not WWE. This is similar to how things used to operate for the UFC Tonight studio show, where Fox would handle the production and the hirings, with UFC being hands-off for most of the part. Now, as noted, Punk has been open to taking calls from anyone, and he said as much during the StarCast Q&A in Chicago. At this point, it seems much more likely that he'll end up doing WWE-related work instead of going to All Elite Wrestling. I noted on Off the Script yesterday that this show is going to be Fox run. That Vince McMahon is not going to have a hand in how the show is produced. This was confirmed here by PWInsider today in this Punk story. So those two reports correlate right there. And a lot of you are probably wondering, well, Vince McMahon hands off on this show, even though his talent is going to be on the show? It's something that Fox wants to, I guess, correlate with the UFC style of show that they did. And they don't want WWE muddying it up with their scripted bullshit. They want a real sports-like product delivered with this show. And if they know that Vince McMahon has full hands-on control of the show, it's not going to be that. Because I'm sure that they know that Vince doesn't like breaking that wall. Vince doesn't like having the fans peek behind the curtain of kayfabe. So Fox wants this show to be run by them and not WWE. CM Punk. I don't know what you guys are thinking about this. I really don't. The one thing that comes to my mind is if this was done earlier in the week, and this tryout happened early in the week, I'm thinking Monday. Start of the brand new work week. He flies out to Los Angeles, and he's doing a tryout for this WWE studio show. If it happened on Monday, and we've seen this thing happen on Monday, and it's now Friday, and I'm reporting on this on Saturday. This was reported on Friday afternoon. Why did it take all of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all of Friday morning to let go by, and we got this news announced Friday afternoon after all that time had passed? Why? This is such a big story that you waited 4 days for us to get this news. Someone there finally leaked it to Mike Johnson, of all people, and nobody else? So, I just find that to be incredibly odd, that they were sitting on this news. If someone backstage there, some camera guy, some studio hand, some studio geek, seen this with his own eyes. Oh, look, CM Punk is in the studio. He waits 4 fucking days to finally reach out to Mike Johnson and PWInsider. Now everybody's talking about it. I just find that to be incredibly bizarre. Now, what I know is that CM Punk, Phil Brooks, is a very private individual. He has done such a good job at keeping himself away from everything public related when it comes to pro wrestling. I mean, the guy's a master troll. When he wants to show you himself, he'll do it in the most bizarre ways. The last instance in which we talked about CM Punk before all this AEW bullshit was at an independent show where he pretty much told you he was going to be there without even saying a fucking word. He took a picture with some fucking geek, and he was wearing a certain hoodie that had a certain insignia on it with certain lettering. People took photos of his hat, of his sweatshirt, of his sneakers, of his jeans. And when that picture was taken, and then they seen this guy run in wearing a fucking lucha mask, making an interference in that show. Silas Young was in the crowd. He even tweeted about it. Come to such and such show. I forgot the name of the fucking show or the venue. You're going to see a certain Punk here today. So, Punk makes his in-ring debut again at a local independent show under a mask. Everybody correlated the fucking fan photo with what they seen in the ring. Punk pretty much told you that he was going to be there without actually uttering a single word. He got into the ring. They ushered him out. He got into a car, went home. The guy loves to troll. The guy loves to troll. Is this another troll job by CM Punk? Because if he already sent out feelers to WWE on StarCast, and before that, WWE reached out to him, or Fox or somebody, his agent reached out to him on behalf of WWE or Fox or whatever, and he's shown no interest in doing the Fox gig. Now all of a sudden he's doing the Fox gig. Why? Who's brokering the deal here? Is it all Fox? Did Fox go through WWE? Did they ask Vince? Did they go to Triple H? Being that this is going to be a WWE affiliated program, did Fox broker a deal? Did they have to go talk to somebody about wanting to reach out to CM Punk and have CM Punk on this show? Something's not right here. Something's not right here. Now, with Punk, could it be a troll? Yes. Could he use this as leverage and then show up on AEW? Just to get his name out there. Oh, look, Punk's back in the news again. I wonder if he's going to show up on AEW. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Or could it be, legitimately, that CM Punk wants to do something with the WWE, isn't really fully committed to the WWE, but knowing that this show is going to be run by Fox gave him a little bit more of a sense of security. Well, I don't want to deal with WWE's bullshit. I don't want to deal with Vince. I don't want to deal with Hunter. I want to deal with Fox. So that might have made the entire situation a little bit more enticing for Phil Brooks. I don't know. I don't know. Now, is he interested in this? Obviously, if he went to the fucking tryout. If he went to the tryout, I don't see anybody being better than fucking CM Punk in that role. And I don't see Fox not giving him the role. Clearly. Who else you going to get? If you want a roundtable discussion, I honestly think CM Punk is the perfect choice for a roundtable discussion talking about everything WWE. And who's to say this won't lead to a mending of a relationship if WWE has CM Punk talking about, or Fox rather, has CM Punk talking about WWE related content on a weekly basis, whether it be Raw, Smackdown, NXT. That's pretty much, to me, in my eyes, one foot in the door with CM Punk making a full-fledged WWE return. Not really full-time, but maybe a part-time like an AJ Styles or a Brock Lesnar. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. But all I know is, clearly, Fox needed the okay to go. I can't see. I just can't see. You know, Fox can order WWE around. They can ask WWE for whatever the fuck they want. But I just don't see Fox going out there and doing business on their own for this show that is a WWE program. Something had to be said. The okay had to be given from Vince or somebody else in upper management. Vince had to give the okay for them to go out there and give this man a fucking tryout to be on their program. Fox can run the show, but I'm sure WWE had to give the okay for Punk to come in and fucking try out. And if Punk is trying out, it might be better for him to know that he's working for Fox and more comfortable working for Fox than he is working for WWE. I don't know. I think this, I would say this is legit. I think this is a true story. I'm not going to call bullshit on this. But listen, as far as from what I can tell, if I was to pick one, I think this is a true story. I think this is all legit. And it will end up in the coming days being legit. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I think this is one of those situations. But I'm going to say this right now. I am so done. No matter how much I want Phil Brooks back on any fucking promotion in a wrestling capacity. The man is the biggest free agent out there today. There's nobody more sought after than CM Punk. There's one man that everybody wants back on their televisions, and this is CM Punk. I would also have to say that, no matter who brokered this deal, this is as if Fox is not killing two birds with one stone, but you're killing three birds with one stone. If Fox somehow brokered a deal with WWE and got the okay to give CM Punk a fucking contract and get him on this show, which is a WWE affiliated program, this keeps CM Punk away from AEW because WWE dodged two bullets right now. We still have two more dates. The AEW debut in Washington, D.C. and the AEW show in Chicago. There's two more bullets left in the chamber for CM Punk to show up. Now, WWE dodged two bullets with Double or Nothing, and they dodged another big bullet with All Out. Punk did not show up at either one of those shows. He's not affiliated with AEW in any way. Fox, if true, has just taken CM Punk off the independent market. They've taken him away from AEW's grasp. That is, right there, the biggest fucking thing that you could possibly ask for. So if WWE did not want to work with CM Punk in any which way, and Fox wants Punk, WWE is going to give them the okay to go get Punk just for that aspect alone. Take him off the market. Because Punk in AEW is an absolute fucking killer to WWE's ratings on Wednesday night. So just by that aspect alone, Vince gave the okay, because if they want Fox to go get Punk, that's the one reason, the one thing that's going to motivate them to say, you know what, go do it. Do what you got to do. All from as much money as you want, get him off the independent market. It gets Punk in a role working for Fox and not WWE at this time. Meanwhile, all the time he's on this show doing this, the potential partnership between him and WWE could be mended over time, which would lead to him being back in WWE in a wrestling capacity. That's three birds with one stone. You get him away from AEW, you get him on air on WWE TV, and then potentially back in the ring with what he's doing on air here on Tuesdays. That's three birds with one stone. This is a great move. It's possible that this could all be, I don't know, but with my feelings on this, I do think this is legit, but I'm going to sit here and tell you that I don't think that, I don't think, I want to say I don't believe it until I see it. That's my stance on it. I don't believe it until I see it. Until I see CM Punk wearing a fucking suit and tie on Tuesday night, October 5th, I'm not going to believe that he's back with the WWE in some way. I'm not. And if they want to go get CM Punk for this show, then that automatically, to me anyway, in my honest opinion, makes this show must-see TV. If he's going to be there every Tuesday night with Renee Young. Because I would love to see what this guy has to say about the current WWE product. If this is a Fox-run show and you're going to let CM Punk go out there and be Phil Brooks, unfiltered, this is must-see TV. Fuck a Talking Smack. Guys, we got Talking Smack back on Tuesday nights with WWE Backstage if CM Punk is going to be out there on a Fox-produced show with no Vince McMahon influence. Unfiltered. That's must-see TV. Where you guys might have blown it off at Renee Young and Booker T talking about a scripted fucking program. Now you got CM Punk talking about WWE running things behind the scenes are Fox and not Vince. Sign me up, bro. Sign me up. I think this is a great deal. Hopefully we'll see this come to light more so than it is right now. Maybe next, it's definitely one of those weird situations, man, where Friday of all days it got leaked and it's like just a weird fucking day with everything going on next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but CM Punk back with WWE potentially. We'll see what happens, man. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I'm not going to believe it until CM Punk is wearing a fucking suit and tie and he's got that hair gelled back on live TV. Or taped TV, because it's going to be pre-taped, but we'll see. And who knows why Phil Brooks was in LA. He could have just tried out. He could have went to the tryout. He's like, you know what? I got business in LA anyway. Wasn't CM Punk doing movies? Wasn't he being filmed? Wasn't he filming a movie for a major role or something? So I don't know. We don't know why he was there or what his intentions are. All we know is his name is back in the news. His name could be once again affiliated with WWE. And I'm not going to believe it until I see CM Punk back on my TV on November 5th. Simple. That's it. That is all I got. Guys, I got one more story here, and then we're going to get out of here. I don't want to go too long on this Saturday show. I want to fill you guys with fucking just enough on this show, and maybe we'll come back on Sunday with some more part 3, because I got some Bray Wyatt news where WWE botched The Fiend big time, and they better be careful, because this could come back to haunt them if they're not more careful about The Fiend. But Rey Mysterio, we talked about Rey Mysterio. His name was brought up in this WWE Backstage garbage, and Rey Mysterio right now is in a big storyline with Dominic. He's getting a Universal Championship match on Monday Night Raw. Now, Dave Meltzer is speculating on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio that the storyline between Rey and Dominic will not take place this year, and that it will not take place until WrestleMania 2020. Dave Meltzer says this, and I quote, "I don't think that they're going to do the thing with Dominic until WrestleMania season, probably. So yeah, it's a slow build." End quote. Now, Dominic is someone that WWE has high hopes in. They are not sending him down to NXT. They are putting him right on the main roster. He will be training at the PC, but he's not going to NXT, and he's going to go right to Monday Night Raw. My gut feeling says about all this is that Rey is going to have a damn good match with Seth Rollins. I'm not thinking that Rey gets turned on by his son yet. I think that time could come still. I think they want to get Dominic to a point where he is ring ready, that they are confident in what he could do in that ring. Then the turn happens during WrestleMania season. And I honestly think where all this is leading is that Rey is going to try and do this for his son. Rey is going to go out there and try and make his son proud, but doesn't. Or at least he's trying, and the results aren't to Dominic's liking. You know? Dominic thinks Rey, his father, could be so much more, that he got lazy and complacent, and he's not really putting all his heart into it. Dominic could eventually turn on Rey Mysterio going into WrestleMania. We could get Rey versus Dominic Rey versus Dominic at WrestleMania, and we can have father versus son. And it could be, you know, a story of tragedy, being that Dominic turned on Rey, and that after the end of that match, Rey could walk off into the sunset and leave WWE. And we could finally see Rey Mysterio unmasked in WWE as he hands over the mask to his son Dominic in a passing of the torch moment. And that would be a WrestleMania moment for the ages right there. Dominic is going to take Rey Mysterio, his father's spot, on Monday Night Raw. And the symbolism of the mask, you guys know how important it is. I don't need to explain it to you. That's the way I see it happening. I truly believe, I could be wrong on this, but it's just a hunch. I truly believe that Rey Mysterio is being pushed now because it's not being reported anywhere. This is just a hunch I have. Rey Mysterio has given his notice to WWE. If you guys remember, Rey signed for 2 years, and he has an out clause at 18 months. 18 months conveniently falls around WrestleMania time. I think Rey gave notice to Vince McMahon. I think Rey gave notice to WWE that I don't want to be here anymore. And WWE fucked that up because they booked Rey Mysterio horribly. Creatively, it was terrible. And now all of a sudden Rey is in a Universal Championship match. He won a Fatal 5-Way. He's in a storyline with Dominic. He's back on TV. Right? Why? It all correlates with probably Rey giving them notice. Now they want to book frantically to get him on TV and get him in something important so that they show him that, look, we can do what we got to do with you. But now it's too little too late. I honestly think this leads to a father versus son match at WrestleMania. Mask on the line. Rey hands the mask over to Dominic. Rey walks out, goes to AEW. Because we already know Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes made a joke about it, but he was dead serious when he said it. He's going to be keeping an eagle's eye on Rey Mysterio's contract because I want that motherfucker in AEW. That's exactly what he said. Not in those exact words, but that's pretty much what he said. So I could see that going into WrestleMania. And I think it's something that could be very entertaining, interesting, and more importantly, emotional. I think we haven't seen something that emotional on WWE TV in quite some time. So I think that would be very nice to have culminate at WrestleMania. And I think that's all I got for you guys, man. We got so much more to talk about tomorrow, and I will save you the rest for part 3 for Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. I am JD. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Let's try, honestly. If you guys made it to this far in the video, let's try for 1,500 thumbs up on this video. We haven't gotten 1,500 thumbs up in a little bit. Let's try for 1,500 thumbs up. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD206. And I will see you right back here on Sunday for episode 293 of Off the Script. Part number 3, rounding out the Sunday. Hopefully I'll see you guys right back here on Sunday afternoon. Until then, have a great Saturday, guys, and I'll talk to you all later.